Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29, back again for another Fool's Gold review. And this time we'll be reviewing Brian Michael Bendis on the Legion of Superheroes. Superheroes. And to go down how Fool's Gold actually works here, I've actually got some information on how the system works. So how things are rated in the system. I rate the cover, the art and the story, and I also rate it out of 10 and also how much I think they're worth. And as you can see, I paid, it's $3.99, and in the conversion rate, into Australian dollars, it's $7.15. So out of that, you get how much. You'll get how much I think the story is actually worth. So let's get started to the first part. Rating the cover. Does this cover match anything that happens within the story? I'm afraid to say a big fat no. False advertisement. Again, why you can't bank on Bendis at DC Comics. Hey, it's a lovely picture, but it just does not work at all in any way with the story. So let's move into the internal art. Starting off with some art at the beginning, then we'll move to the middle and then to the end. Now, I'll rate both the art and the cover after that, and how much I think both are worth. Starting with some parts around the beginning, or near the beginning. Don't think there needed to be so many splash pages. It could have been dropped down a bit. This is around the middle. And the last but not least, we'll cover the end. And the art for this felt a little bit inconsistent with the rest of the story. So, the rating for the cover. 3 out of 10. How much do I think the cover's worth? At least $1. The art. About 3 out of 10. How much do I think it's worth? $1. Let's move into the next fun part. The story. Now, of course, there are elements that I like to enjoy in my story, which are important to the storytelling. I did find it interesting of what Brian Bendis did at the beginning with Mon-El. I know some people have sort of criticised it, but that's fine. That's fine. Let them criticise. But I do like his suspicion towards Brainiac and also Saturn Girl. That's just to point out something that happens in the beginning of the story. So, starting off, did we get a good, clear and concise understanding of who the characters were? Not fully. It could have been better organised. Did we get time as when things occurred? No, we didn't. And that loses points. Did we get locations? Yes, we got locations, but it would have still have been nice to have Brian Michael Bendis point out that the beginning of this story was actually taking place on New Krypton, instead of letting the cover do that for the story. But what about comic references? Well, I really think a comic reference wouldn't have gone astray, especially in relation to Rogol Zar. Like, even if it was pointed out, Rogol Zar's last appearance was in Superman, I think it was issue 17. I might be incorrect on that. But it would not have hurt the story. In fact, it would have helped the story. As well as maybe even making reference to the last issue of the Legion of Superheroes, as to where he made his last known appearance in this particular run. Rating for the story. You do get a little bit lost in the story, especially with the word garbage. A little bit too much, but also not enough. There were some scenes where there was a little bit of text and allowed the art to breathe, or allowed the art to do some of the storytelling to breathe. But as for the rest, it sort of took away from it. And in that, it also loses points. So, overall rating for the story, I'm afraid to say it's a 0 out of 10. I wasn't wanting to give it a 0 out of 10, but because of those because of some of those things, it lost points terribly. If you really want to pick up some fantastic Brian Michael Bendis stories, don't pick up this. Pick up his Jinx World. The first one that comes to the top of my head, pick up his Power series. It's probably one of the best ones out there. Then followed by USA vs. Murder Inc. and Cover with David Mack. Murder Inc. was done with Michael Avon Oeming, along with Powers. Definitely worth to pick up. You definitely want to check out his torso. Meant to be based on a bit of history. I would recommend any of these over any of his DC stories. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as you can see, I'm on the road to 150 subscribers. And I couldn't have done that without you. So I want to thank all my subscribers, as I do plan to reward my subscribers. As one of my goals is to review the first 4 volumes of Akira Amano's Reborn. If you've now made it to the end of this video, you are awesome.